any, but I want you to read this, read the information and watch the documentary. It's actually in pieces because I couldn't find it all in one piece. So we're going to share that. But we have to take a break because Mama got to pay the bills. But we will be right back on the other side after this.
Hi, this is Avani. You're listening to the Ask Avani Show, and we'll be right back on the other side after this.
Hi, welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Avani Show today, this afternoon. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. So this show, to me, is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. Today's topic is illiteracy amongst adults. Does it leave people more disadvantaged, or can it be more character-building motivation? I'm just curious. What do you guys think? Please, if you get a chance, come through, SoMetro Radio Skype. Tell us what you think. But hi, K-Rose.
Hello, Avani.
Hello. Now, before the break, guys, we've just been listening to Glenn Jones, I Am Somebody. I like that track. I was dancing away. But I wanted to go back to a story that we were talking about before the break, which was the UK actress Cara Toynton. Now, I saw a documentary a couple of years ago now, actually, on her, and she was talking about her dyslexia. So that, is today's topic, illiteracy amongst adults. And she was saying that she can't, read properly, and it has really affected her life. Because obviously being an actress, she has to learn lines and, do different things for her jobs because she's always doing different jobs and stuff. And she's had to have these coping mechanisms that she can use so that she can learn her lines. And she had to get her family to help her. And she said she was a mess because it was really stressful for her trying to remember things and memorize things. Because they say with dyslexics that I think it's their short-term memory as well as their long-term memory sometimes that can be affected. So if you're an actress or an actor, and you've got dyslexia, that's going to be quite challenging because you need to be able to learn things like, quickly, because this week's script might be this character, next week's script is another character. Don't you think so? It's going to be hard, isn't it?
Well, I mean, hard is a nice way to put it. That is like insane. And so would she have her family or people that are around her read her what she couldn't read, and then she would just memorize it?
Yeah, I think that was one of her many coping mechanisms. People, we're going to post the links for this documentary because I really want to share it because it was really, really moving. And the documentary was called "Don't Call Me Stupid." Apologies that it's going to be in parts because I could not find it for love nor money in all one segment. So it's in parts, but please watch all of the parts because they make up the whole documentary and it's really, really interesting. I was so amazed when I saw the things that she's had to cope with because she said that she didn't even realize, until she was like going through school and thinking, why can't I learn? She went around meeting other, people that have dyslexia. And she said that the common thread was that a lot of them kept saying, oh, am I stupid? I can't learn and what's going on? And, I'm just going to give up on education and reading and stuff because it's really hard for me to grasp it. And it turns out that with dyslexic people, sometimes their brain is just wired a little bit differently. They just need to learn things in a slightly different way and they need to be taught in different ways so that they can grasp, reading and writing. Her one was really interesting because, again, the reason why I want to share it is because I've noticed not everyone's dyslexia manifests in the same way. And her one, it turns out that when she read, she couldn't read like, like when you read, normally you read across the line and then you go down to the next line. She couldn't do that because, is when you read something, most text and most books are printed on white paper, isn't it?
Logically, yes.
Yeah, and she couldn't read a normal book in the normal way because for her, the whiteness of the paper was kind of like clouding her eyesight and it was giving her headaches and she found that she couldn't like keep track of what she was reading. She was losing sentences, she was losing paragraphs because she was missing letters in words. That's why her spelling suffered because she couldn't always see things. And again, we were talking earlier about when you read something and sometimes just the way that the world is, words are not always spelt the way that they're said and vice versa. So it was a real struggle for her because she couldn't see it And what she had to do was go for a special test. And I want to share it because it was really interesting. In the end, she ended up having tinted reading glasses, and that's what made her be able to read books, like massive books, because she wanted to read things like Harry Potter, the massive books. And she couldn't read them because she couldn't keep up with it. And she said, oh, it's going to be a nightmare. I can't read. It's just going to be too much for me. I can't read the text. And once she got these glasses, it was like a transformation. The minute she put them on, she was away, and she was sitting for hours on end reading these massive books, things like Harry Potter and all that. And she was in a world of her own, and she loved it. So can you imagine that something so simple, a pair of tinted reading glasses, changed her life? I'm not saying it's going to be the same for everyone, but
But that's the thing that we're talking about, the medical side of it. And there are times when it's through no fault of parenting or through no fault of the person. There is a medical issue that causes them not to be able to learn like everyone else does.
Yeah, it was amazing to me. I really want to share it because when I saw the tests that she went through, she went for a normal eye test, and then he did this special sort of color spectrum test, and he said to her, tell me what is comforting for you. Tell me what you can see when I change the colors behind the text. And it turns out for her that green was the best color for her to be able to see text on white paper. And he said, okay, we're going to make up these special glasses for you. And she made them up. She got them. She was really excited to try them out. The minute she put them on, she was like, wow. And obviously she put them in a nice frame that suited her face. But it's just that the tint.
Have to have style. There's style cool, here. Right? You got to be stylish.
Cool. Yeah, you don't want some frumpy old NHS, glasses, People in the UK know them kind of glasses. I'm talking about them crazy looking, like they look like kind of, I tell you whose glasses they remind me of. Dame Edna Everidge.
Right.
She used to wear these crazy, like, pointy glasses. They look kind of like that, so almost. People, if you've had NHS glasses in the past,
But they're just basic. They're basic glasses, right?
They were crazy. They were basic, but they just had this really strange shape, and they just look really, really cheapy looking, and you just didn't want them. If you was a child and you had to wear glasses, you wanted something hip, you want something cool.
Right.
And NHS glasses wasn't cutting it. You just didn't want them.
But we have the same type system here in the States where you receive assistance.
Yeah.
And with assistance, you get what they give you.
That's right. You have to take it, but you didn't like it, and that's why a lot of kids wouldn't wear their glasses because they said, "I don't like. They make me look weird. I don't like them." But she chose the frames that she wanted, and then he put these special tinted lenses in, and that was it. She was away, and it was so nice to see someone be able to enjoy reading again, because she said, I missed it. I can't read properly, and I struggled for many years thinking, oh, maybe I'm just a bit thick. And it wasn't that. It's just that she couldn't concentrate, and she was getting all these headaches because she was trying to read it, and it was really hard for her. So can you imagine? So if you're out there and you've got dyslexia or any other type of condition that makes it hard for you, please, I'm imploring you, get help. And if you know someone that struggles with their reading and their literacy, please help them. Please support them. Because trust me, I cannot, it's sending a shiver down my spine as I talk about it. I cannot imagine not being able to read. I just can't go through my life thinking, oh my God, I can't read a book. I can't read the newspapers. I can't do this. I can't do that. I love reading. I'm an avid reader, voracious. I just read all sorts of stuff that I could get my hands on. From a child to now, I'm always reading a book of some kind. And I just think, God, what are you missing out on? You're missing out on so much. You can't have your little communications with people because you can't read well, and it's a struggle. There's so much things that you're just missing out on. So please, if you're an adult and it's taken you to this point to realize, okay, yeah, I really need to do something about it. Just because you couldn't read doesn't mean you will never be able to read, but please take the steps. Don't you think so, K-Rose? Take the steps.
And you have to, and that's why those people who do understand that there is a disability they have, that's why you find they are some of the people that work hardest.
Yeah.
Because they really feel that they're fortunate when someone finds out what the disability is. So they really work hard when they say, okay, I understand what's wrong. Now I'm going to just like, the way you're talking, they're voracious. About it. They want to read in every book in the world.
She did not stop. She weren't playing, and that was the one that she wanted to get to grips with. They're massive because Harry Potter books are no joke. They're big, and if you love to read and you've got a creative imagination, you're going to get lost. I used to get lost in books, and obviously my home life wasn't great, so that's probably why I developed such a creative imagination, and I love to read because it took me out of my daily situations. Whatever the reason you love reading, enjoy it, and if you're struggling with your reading, please find a way, to be able to enjoy it, because you can miss out on so much. Trust me, we talked about this earlier. They used to say, if you want to hide something from a black man or a black, put it in a book, because it seems that we were perceived as we did not want to learn.
Right.
And I'm here to debunk that myth. I love reading. So I'm hoping that other people will look at their kids now and say, okay, I need to, if you can, make more of an effort to help them to read with them, make them read to you, send them to reading classes, whatever it takes to get them back into, reading and literacy. And trust me, there's some stories that I want to share with you on the show today, guys. I mean, we're going to post the links anyway on the Ask Avani Twitter page. But it's amazing to me when someone says, they struggle with reading. I think, please find, get help, because I don't want to go through life not being able to read. That would frustrate me so much. I just wouldn't want to do that.
And that's something where, along the topic of illiteracy, there are reasons and there are stages, again, as I mentioned before, I think. And when you are diagnosed with an issue and a problem and you fix it, it has to be like they're giving you like a new lease on life.
Oh, absolutely. Because now you're thinking, wow, I can go forth. I mean, look at the guy we were talking about earlier. He is a multi-millionaire, and he did that. He made that business with struggling with his condition. So imagine if I hope, I don't know if he's done it yet. We don't see, now he's got loads of money. I'm hoping that he's going to go forward now and take time out and get someone to teach him to read, get a tutor, a private tutor. He can afford it now, innit? Get a private tutor to teach you to read on your time, on your terms, at your own pace. And then he can start enjoying his life. Because can you imagine you can't read and just for the basics? I mean, forget the creative and enjoying books of all denominations. Forget all that. Just for your safety and for reading, just getting through everyday life. That's a challenge in itself. Why struggle more because you struggle to read? Please get help.
It's something that's interesting about what you had mentioned as far as just get help and learn to read, and you need to do that so that you can have everyday, just help you in your everyday existence.
Yeah.
The reason that, and this is a little tangent that I'm going on, but the reason that when you look at certain signs in the United States, the reason the signs are shaped the way they are and they're colored the way they are, it's because of people who couldn't read.
Wow.
They shaped the stop sign and the yield sign and all these things. And then, I mean, if you look in even in the United States and Europe now, signs don't have, they have pictures, right? But they don't have text on them.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And that was made so that, again, you have people from different countries, and so there are different languages. So I understand that too. But in the United States, it was because of people couldn't read.
Wow.
And so they created these signs so that you would see, if you see the big red sign that was an octagon, they didn't know what an octagon was, but somebody could tell them that so they would know, I guess. But if you see that red sign, even though you couldn't read those letters, you would know it means stop.
Yeah.
And you may learn to read the word stop. So now big red sign, if I ever see those letters in that combination, it means stop.
Yeah.
But that's part of, the illiteracy world that we live in.
I hope we don't live in it for too long, no.
But it's something where I don't know if that's something you can erase instantly.
Oh, wow.
I think
not
better.
instantly. No, but I'm hoping that people, if they're out there and they can finally say, yes, I'm going to admit to, not being too hot with that, hopefully they're going to not feel too ashamed anymore. You are not stupid, because if you've managed to survive this long, trust me, you're doing something right, and you've made your coping mechanisms work for you. But why be so stressed if you don't need to be? Life is stressful enough.
Right. I mean, and those people that actually go out there and they help themselves and they learn and they progress, it's part of life. From a physical standpoint, I remember when I was younger, When I was like in my teens and my early 20s, if someone was 50 years old, man, they were pretty much ready to get dirt kicked on top of them.
Oh God!
But now